This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Bird on what a weekend of golf we just witnessed in Mississauga. Yesterday, Brooke Henderson locked up her second career CPKC Women's Open title, fending off reigning women's PGA champion Minjee Lee for a one-shot victory. And in case you forgot, it's worth reminding you that Brooke is the GOAT of Canadian golf. Just look at her resume. Sunday's win was the 14th of her career. That's the most ever by a Canadian professional golfer. And she's also the first Canadian to win multiple major championships. And now she's also the first ever Canadian woman to win our national championship multiple times. But this win ends a tough stretch for the Smith Falls, Ontario native. Coming into Sunday, she hadn't won an LPGA title since January of 2023. That's a span of 64 consecutive starts without a win, the longest rut of her career. And this year has been especially difficult. Coming into this week, she had just one top 10 finish, a slide that saw her fall to 58 in the world rankings. So it's no surprise that Brooke was a 60-1 to win the title before they teed off. I'm certain plenty of her friends made some money off that now. Some big news from the NFL as one of the biggest holdouts in the offseason is over. Terry McLaurin and the Washington Commanders have reached an agreement that will get him in uniform for their season opener against the Giants. The deal will keep the Commanders' top receiver in Washington for the next 3 years and is reportedly worth $96 million. McLaurin has been one of the best receivers in the game over the last 5 years, despite playing with some subpar quarterbacks. McLaurin is one of just 4 receivers to record 5 1,000-yard seasons. Wow, good for Washington. To baseball now, and the Blue Jays leave Miami with a series win, but the series was not without drama. Friday was all about Shane Bieber's debut, and he delivered in a big way with 6 innings of 1-run ball, 9 strikeouts, and a 5-2 win. On Saturday, Bo Bichette played hero in extras with a go-ahead RBI in the 12th inning before the Jays dropped the finale on Sunday. Now the focus shifts home for a series Toronto needs to take advantage of. The Twins come in with the second worst record in the American League, and the Blue Jays are expected to have Scherzer, Bassett, and Lauer on the mound for the series. They'll also be leaning on the hot bats of Bo Bichette and George Springer. Bo is batting .458 with 11 hits in his last 6 games, and George has 3 home runs and an OPS over 1,000 during that stretch. After Minnesota, things get much tougher with the Brewers rolling into town, as they are the top team in baseball. Now Toronto's still leading the AL East, but the margin for error is thin. The Red Sox just won 3 of 4 against the Yankees and are 5 games back, but they're gearing up for a pair of winnable series against Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, the Yankees also have soft matchups ahead against the Nationals and White Sox. The Jays have a chance to stretch their lead while the Twins are in town, but the Red Sox and Yankees are lurking, and any slip-up could make the final stretch that much more intense. Just as long as they don't slip into the wild card, because you know what happens in the wild card with this team. To the PGA Tour now, and what a storybook ending we saw Sunday at the FedEx Cup. Tommy Fleetwood finally won a PGA Tour event, the first after 163 winless starts. And what a scene we got on the 18th hole after he sealed the win.
The agonizing wait is over. Fleetwood, finally, for everything, the FedEx Cup title.
Bask in the glory, Tommy. And how about Justin Rose's reaction? Absolutely loving it as his countrymen celebrated his first PGA win. And if you're wondering why it meant so much to the golf world to see Fleetwood win, it's because he's had some incredibly heartbreaking near misses along the way. Coming into last week, Fleetwood's 30 top 5 finishes without a career win were the most in the last 100 years. And his $33.4 million in career earnings were the most by a golfer who had not actually won on tour. But on Sunday, he became the first player to win his first title at the Tour Championship at East Lake. And to make the win even sweeter, it came with a $10 million check. Must be nice. The US Open is underway at Flushing Meadows, and there is tons of Canadian content to watch out for. For the first time ever, Canada has 5 seeded players at a Grand Slam event. So could we see another magical run by a Canadian in New York? Historically, Canadians have loved playing in front of the American crowd. Who could forget Bianca Andreescu's title run there in 2019, and Leylah Annie Fernandez's run to the final a few years later? And speaking of Leylah, she's one of our seeded players at this year's event, and has already moved on to the second round. Leylah won her first round match in straight set Sunday, but on the downside it came at the expense of another Canadian, Rebecca Marino. Meanwhile, the US Open is famous for its drama, and we got plenty of it opening night, when Daniil Medvedev disagreed with a call while down match point.
Wait, please, not now. Get off the court, please. First serve. Ladies and gentlemen, because of the delay caused by an outside interference, first serve has been granted.
You want to go home. He wants to go home, guys. He doesn't like to be here. He gets paid by the match, not by the hour. Yeah?
And he didn't hold back after losing the first round in his 3rd straight major, absolutely destroying his racket. You gotta destroy the racket. That match destroyed your soul. Of course, CSUN is your home for the US Open. Action begins at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific all week. As everybody knows, we're going to run 3 Pacific. Have a good one.